it is quiet time. It is after quiet time should have started already, and certain someone is downstairs sulking. But he didn't get enough time to play. But we got home at 2 and I gave him an entire hour. And 2 minutes before the hour was up, he had to poo, so we went and did that, and then he came out. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go up, and he's just down there having a fit. So I brought Ziggy up, and I'm just gonna get started and see what happens. Anyway, I guess I missed a science project on the list today. Sorry, I mean, you had an hour. Just go in there and take 5 more minutes. You have an entire bin of Legos. Yeah, I missed a science project today, and they like to be so helpful and just have on Jax's little online list project. So I have to go in through the parents module and see what it is. It was like writing up a thing on an animal, an organism in the food chain, and then you're supposed to do a group project with others and take all of your animals from the whole group and put them in a food web. So like, that doesn't translate well for us, so I had to do the first part and then just do a food chain, a simple food chain. I actually did way more than I probably should have, but he's not familiar with Google Docs yet. He's still learning his way around it. So I set up the file for him. I just had it blank for that first portion, and he guided him through pasting and formatting and typing. And then I made a food chain, a different food chain on the next page, and he changed it to his food chain. I don't think he wrote the paragraph. There's supposed to be a paragraph, but you know what? It is what it is. We're on the final stretch of the school year. There's like 4 weeks to go. There's hardly any math left. I actually just turned off the final chapter, which was just like bar graphs and stuff. There's no like chapter test, so it just ends. And I went and checked. I'm like, no, I'm not missing anything. It just ends. And the final week, he's got chapter tests in history and, well, not history, just social studies. I think it'll be economics and government. And then in his middle school science course, has a chapter test, and the very next day, the cumulative test for the second half of the year. So many tests. I was trying to make math lighter because there was math every single day. So I tried taking off just a few lessons, but it reorganized everything and spread it out. So he still had stuff every single day. So I took off the entire chapter, the last chapter, and then all of a sudden now for the last 4 weeks, he's gonna have like 1 to 2 math lessons per week. Oops, but that's fine. We're winding down. Language arts is winding down. The only thing he has left is a book review chapter, so he's reading Black Stallion, and there's various activities that go with that. So yeah, school took a while. We got out of the house like at 12:30, so we ended up making it a picnic day. Picnic being getting food and sitting outside of Starbucks at the one table they're able to have. Then we took our whole forest loop. It was nice inside the forest, but so windy. It's like around 50-ish. The sun is warm. If there was no wind, it would feel beautiful, but the wind is kind of constant at 12 miles per hour and gusts up to 20, 30, so quite cold. And then when we finished that, we just headed home, and as I said, I gave him an hour, but we need to get quiet time started. I have Ziggy Piggy. As soon as my husband is done working, I'm sure he'll come up and get him, but he likes to have a nice nap. So I'm gonna get settled, and this little guy needs to join me in a few minutes, okay? Doing some building. Can I move your block basket back? Are you done with that?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's kind of in the path.
It'll be fun if I can.
Yeah, you can't go in the airport in a dream. You could go in the person's house, but Not any of the stores or anything.
I gotta get it. Look at that, Mom.
Nice. Little area to relax. Alright guys, it is bedtime. We made it all day long. It's felt like Friday, but it's Monday, and I'm like, no, this is not fair. It was just a long school day, like the portions I needed to help with, which is why I ended up feeding Sebastian an overpriced Starbucks lunch. That's one place I'm guaranteed I can put the order in on my phone, just step right in. Sometimes I even bring it out, and there's a table outside and no other table, so nobody can be near us. But yeah, school, lunch, a nice walk that was very cold at the end because the wind is so strong. It was so windy. I think it's going to be like that again tomorrow, but maybe a tiny bit warmer, like, I don't know, mid-50s. It's gonna get really cold and rainy after that. But yeah, I came home. Sebastian ate a little bit more, and then quiet time. Came downstairs. It was already after 5. I went down, and I'm still trying to get like a little start on the Animal Crossing themed sweater to see if it's just something I want to continue on with. I don't want to bring all the yarn and start it in the car and like an hour in be like, this isn't working, I don't want to do it. And then I have 5 more hours and no knitting projects and then an entire week. So yeah, I'm gonna see if this really clicks and if I'm into doing it. I do have a project I started on an airplane ride that I could finish. It's really annoying to do because I'm using so many colors. There's a million threads. I keep getting tangled. Let me see if I can get it out. It's probably attached to all of the colors. And I feel like it's coming out small, so it'll end up being a Sebastian hat instead of Jack's. But here's what it looks like so far. I believe I am on Miss Pac-Man and cherries. It's just so annoying. There's so many colors that I have to do at once, and they all get tangled up. It'll get finished eventually, but it's like a high stress project. Hang on, I'm gonna set you down. You can look up my nose because one of these stitches popped off and I don't want it to come up right there. So I don't think that's one I want to do. I really like ones where I have a combo of stuff I have to pay attention to and mindless, just straight knitting, one solid color, so I can just look out the window. I don't even have to look at my knitting if I'm doing that. So I'll try to do that test for the rest of the week, and probably by then I'll know if I want to continue on with that one. Otherwise I need to figure out something else. But after that, like, my husband finally came in. I was like, I kind of want Mexican food. I've been wanting it. Guacamole tacos is what I get with black beans. And it comes with rice, but I can't tell if they put chicken stock in it. I usually just eat a couple bites because my stomach gets upset if I eat more than that. Which probably means it does have it. But they have really good chips and salsa. So we had dinner. He ordered it and we had dinner. Then he went outside. He's trying to work on putting in suspension into the Jeep. Sebastian went with him for a little while to be his tool helper, but it was pretty cold. He has to come in at 8 because it was cold. By that point, I had done a few rounds on that sweater, and I came up to visit a friend's island in Animal Crossing. Since I'm always on so late, I don't get to come to other people's islands and check them out very often, so I made a special trip. And before I knew it, it was 9. Here we are. We had to clean up and try and find something Sebastian had lost that I gave him just like an hour before. I found an old vet kit that Jax had done in a science class. They had given him an actual stethoscope. It was like a disposable one, but it works. And then he had built a little Ziploc bag with a vet kit, like Q-tips and cotton balls and like a fake bandage. He's probably in there messing with it. And I gave him some bottles and stuff. No, you need to clean up, babe. You already took all this stuff out and left it everywhere where the dog's gonna eat it. But now you're gonna make a mess of Jax. Ziggy sleeps right here. You gotta clean it all up before you come to bed. We clean all these rooms 20 times a day. Anyway, that's our day. So exciting, so fun. Glad we're in the home stretch of homeschool for the year, though. The end is in sight. And then after we finish these 4 weeks, we'll have a week of testing. So the test should come in a couple weeks. I have to order it back in January. Our county requires proof of academic progress, and that can be a standardized test, a widely accepted standardized test. It can be a private evaluator with a teaching license who comes and tests your child. And I feel like there's another one, but I can't think of it. I've always gone the testing route. From first grade on, you have to prove. You don't have to for kindergarten. But instead of sending him to like one of the free testing days that they have always done for homeschoolers in the past, they didn't last year. They actually said you didn't have to give proof of academic progress. So I don't know if they're going to do that this year. I went ahead and did the testing and sent my results and said just have it on file for me. But yeah, they would do testing days. You'd go to some school cafeteria and they hand out the tests and do it. But I felt like since Jax has never been in a school setting, it'd be too distracting and it could affect his scores. So there's like a Christian online homeschool supply. We're not religious, we're just respectful and kind, but I don't use their curriculum, but they have a service where you could go through an online course, a video, and answer questions and agree to go by the rules, and you become a test administrator. I could be the test administrator for other people's children too, but I do it for mine, and it's hard, but you read that script, you follow those rules, you are only able to explain questions, you're not able to lead to answers. But I do it, I stick with it, and it's hard when you see them do something wrong, but this is helping me as this teacher know what we need to work on. So that will be our task after, like the week before we go to the beach. I schedule the school year on purpose to end a week before the beach so that we can wrap the testing, we go to the beach. If it's a good year, we get the results emailed to us while we're at the beach, and he usually gets good grades. Upper 80s, low 90s percentile for his standardized tests. So they only need to be 25th or higher percentile. So end is in sight, even though I'm not looking forward to that. Oh, I'm sorry, Piggy. I'll get changed. You can't really see him. It's okay. You still can't see him. He just suddenly stood up. Anyway, it sounds like they're wrapping it up, so I'm going to change and get bedtime going. Since I already did Animal Crossing, I probably won't get on, but I'll bring it with me to the other room in case anybody is doing anything and I can get online with them. But otherwise, I will probably knit a little bit, watch a couple videos maybe, just chill. I need some chill before I get up and work on my braids. I made good progress right here last night. I probably have between 30 and 35 left to go. I didn't count though. So I'm on track to finish this week. A little bit past schedule. I want it to be done by the end of March, but I think I only have a couple days, right? But yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap this up before I hit the 10-minute mark on this clip. Good night. Please be safe. The numbers were going like this, and now they're just and they're not going down anymore. So please be safe. Keep wearing that mask even if you are vaccinated, and yeah, be kind to each other and wash your hands.